Hey guys, this is Tracy Lynn Cruz, also known as Ashley the Yellow Ranger from Power Rangers Turbo and Power Rangers in Space. I want to welcome you to the Power Morphicon Angel Grove High School Prom. I'm looking forward to seeing you all. It's going to be fabulous. Dress up, and we'll see you then.
Hey, welcome. Is the mic on? Or can you guys hear us? Hey, welcome to the Ranger Wrap-Up. We're here to talk about Power Rangers Ninja Steel. Woo, woo. And to my left, we have our special guest.
Hey, everybody. I'm Johnny Parker. Comic book writer, fan of Power Rangers and Sentai. Happy to be here talking about it.
Yeah. It's nice to have you. Thanks for joining us.
For sure.
First off, let's get this stuff out of the way. We have the boss right here, up in this corner. If you are, you can't see it, but there's a little health bar. Right now in the lead is MJ Spud. Now at the end of all this, whoever is the winner will get one free weekend pass to Power Morphicon. And at Power Morphicon, you will get the exclusive Lord Dracon figure. Probably the last figure made by Bandai since they're going over to Hasbro. Also, we have a TeePublic store where you can get our that hashtag show merchandise. You can get shirts of all kinds. You get Doctor Who shirts, Power Ranger shirts, Batman shirts, all kinds of shirts. The link is in the description. And lastly, we have the THS Hashtaggers Facebook group. Join that group so you could share with all of us, all of the other hashtaggers, on everything that you find interesting, cool clips. I like that a lot of people post a lot of news on things because sometimes I don't get to see it. And also we have a super chat button. The super chat, it's the S at the bottom of the screen. That helps support the show and it helps bring up the production value. It helps keep the lights on here at the studio. We're back in the studio. It's we've been gone for a little bit. You guys like the background? We got the little Galaxy Warriors background back here. So we are ready to watch. So how you doing today, man?
I'm doing excellent. I got to watch a lot of great Sentai and Power Rangers leading up to this.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to talk about it.
Yeah.
Kamen Rider build is amazing.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah. We're going to talk about that on Henshin Hangout. But today we're here to talk about Super Ninja Steel. So let's see who's in the chat. We got Battlestar Galactica, Cyril, Bhumika, it's 2:30 a.m. in the morning and she's live watching us. Anna, Larry Newbell, Layla, T-Wolf, Typhoon Ranger, Matt.
Strider Xanthos is here.
Yep, we got Craig Anderson. Yeah,
Joe's
you guys
probably see Strider. I think he's asleep right now.
Yeah. Oh, Joe is actually at Wrinkle in Time. So.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, he's doing a little
Joe.
press junket. So we're filling in.
There it is.
So yeah, let's get into the episode. So this was a fun episode. It was, it's a little weird. I mean, the game, all the Power Rangers, all the high schoolers were addicted to this game. It wasn't even like a pretty look. It wasn't really that awesome of a looking. It was just, it was pretty janky.
Yeah, it was like a little bit too pixelated because like this old school pixelation was like, oh, like I'm playing Mario. And this was like pixelation, like, am I playing Atari right now? Like, oh god.
It was kind of like Flappy Bird, but they all seemed to like it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, Preston was really into it, and he got the rest of the Rangers into it. And what we didn't know is that the little character that they were playing was actually a bad guy, a monster, and he was using all the points that the kids were making to level himself up, like keep getting strong. Mm-hmm. What did you think of that? What did you think of this episode?
You know, it was interesting. Like, first off, it wasn't part of like the main storyline, so it kind of felt like a filler episode.
Yeah.
But for a filler episode, it wasn't too bad. Mm-hmm. Like, it was fun. We got to see all the Rangers interact and everything like that. The video game aspect, like, people are chatting about it. Yeah. We haven't seen video games using Power Rangers since like Dino Thunder, so it was kind of cool to see that back in there a little bit. I will admit there were some parts where I just kind of like, even though it's a filler, I felt it could have been better. Yeah. But it was still fun though.
Yeah. I haven't really caught up with this series after. I think I dropped off of Power Rangers, maybe SPD. So I mean, I don't know. It's just like we were talking about before. Like the content is just. You brought up a great thing saying like, oh, Nickelodeon has Ninja Turtles too, and Ninja Turtles doesn't have to dumb down their content. So I don't understand why. Some of this stuff is ridiculous.
It really
is. Every time they bring out like a weapon, they have to call it out. It's like it's voice activated.
Everything is ninja kick, ninja slash, like, ninja stab, ninja feint, ninja fall down, ninja. Oh, we gotta go hide now.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't. I don't see how this show is going to continue going if they're just going to keep playing kids like that. I mean, kids are smart nowadays. You're a comic book writer. I mean, who do you aim your comic book to, like the age demographic?
Usually, because I also teach. I teach high school as well. So usually, I aim my comic books like towards like middle school, high school, even like a little like 5th or 6th grade and everything like that. But even like when you do that, like you can still be pretty sophisticated with it. Like you look at like Goosebumps books. They're really popular with like elementary school kids, or like Smile by Deckelmeier. It's like things like that keep kids engaged, and they talk about stuff like in a fun ways. You have to like dumb it down too much. But with this Power Rangers, like you're right, it's just like it just kept like dumbing it down a little bit too much. Like the dialogue seemed cheesy. The jokes were just kind of like fart jokes and stuff like that. Which is like we did
enjoy Victor and Monty's character.
Oh god, okay, Vivi was hilarious. Like there were times where I was rolling my eyes for an episode. Vivi would show up and I would be dying laughing. I'm like, I don't know what he's doing. He's killing me right now.
He had that whole scene. They're all playing, and then the teacher could still hear the games. That where is that game? And he had a little poster blocking his way, and I thought that was pretty creative.
Me too. See, I was disappointed he didn't turn the sound off though. I'm like, V, you had this whole plan. Just turn the sound off. You wouldn't have got caught. You were so close.
These are the comments for later. Yeah, so I don't know, and the music was very. I'm not sure if that's how. JD, is that how they've been playing? That's the music they've been playing the whole series. Yeah. Well, they got a little nostalgic sounds, and the Victor and Monty had the Bulk and Skull sound. So, I don't know. Okay, listen. There are some parts I enjoyed about the episode, but there are just some things that I didn't really enjoy about the episode. I just how pandering it is. It's just like.
So maybe we won't talk about the stuff we enjoyed first, and we start with the stuff.
Yeah, let's talk. What did you enjoy mostly about the show?
Okay, so nostalgia. A little bit of nostalgia was there, like you said. The Bulk and Skull, like little theme music with Vivi's like goofing off or whatever. It was like, oh, you just took me back. Okay, tearing up right now. Thank you. Yeah. Even the intro music was like kind of dope. It was like got a little bit of that Mighty Morphin. Like I would like a more original song, but it's still like put me back a little bit of nostalgia and everything like that.
How long have you been watching Power Rangers, or like do you still watch the Power Rangers now? Or where did you drop off at?
I dropped off, so I was a fan for it since day one. Okay. Like as soon as it came on, like Fox Kids and everything like that, I was already there. I stayed with it all the way up until Lost Galaxy. And Lost Galaxy is where
Lost Galaxy was dope, though.
And that's what people tell me too, but then I came back later on for it. But what happened was I got off at Lost Galaxy, went and did some stuff, but then what ended up bringing me back was I was in college, and then all of a sudden I'm flipping to the channel, I'm going to Disney Channel, I was like, oh, Power Rangers on. Oh, that looks like, is that Tommy? Is that Tommy right there?
Oh, Dino Thunder.
And then Dino Thunder brought me back just in time for Ninja Storm and SB, everything else.
Oh my gosh.
So at that point I was like, okay, I'm back. I'm here now. That's where I came back on. I've been with it ever since.
I think, I jumped back on Dino Thunder because I heard Tommy was coming back. And, Tommy's a big player in the Power Ranger universe, so... Yeah, I mean, listen, the show is... I guess it's good for some kids. But I know a lot of kids. A lot of my friends have kids. They're way smarter than this.
They really are.
They can understand a lot more than Nickelodeon likes to think. I mean, you got kids going into all these Marvel movies and enjoying the shit out of them, and like telling you like everything about it. Like it's like you think they're just visually like accepting it. No, they understand the story. They understand the concepts. I mean, look at Pixar. Pixar, it's for it's for everybody, but it's for kids too. But they sneak in a lot of those morals and all those things that kids need to learn growing up. Like,
exactly, and they're not. I agree with you. They're not scared to shy away from it because like you watch a Pixar film, you're like tearing up like right away.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's kind of like exactly. It was like we were talking about during the show. It was like if you compare Disney Channel shows to Nickelodeon shows, we talked about how a lot of times the Disney Channel stars kind of blow up because their shows are just slightly more mature. They'll like tug at your heartstrings. They'll play around with things. They'll like treat the audience just a little bit more intelligently. Yeah. Whereas with Nickelodeon, again, I love Nickelodeon. Growing up on it, Rugrats since day one, but I just feel they're just dumbing it down a little bit too much for them.
Well, I mean, they did a good job with Ninja Turtles. It's if they could just translate that into their Power Ranger franchise, where you get a mix of both worlds, you get nostalgia and you get the new audience. Maybe we can save it, but
exactly. Or we can even say like Avatar: The Last Airbender,
exactly.
And Legend of Korra. Those are just shows where it's like you were for kids, but they dealt with stuff in a mature way.
Yeah.
And like Voltron: Legendary Defender.
Oh my God, that show is great.
It is.
It's so good.
And the thing about this is like Nickelodeon with Power Rangers should be looking at that as your template. You have these amazing actors. You're bringing them out here. You've got these awesome like Sentai footage you use. Just utilize that stuff to its fullest ability and give real strong storylines. Yeah. Like I've got to be honest. Like Ninja still has a lot of potential, but it's like, why is the villain a game show?
Yeah.
It's like, how does ninjas in game shows fight each other? I don't understand that.
Like both me and him, we haven't been watching the series up until this point. And so when we jumped onto this, we were just like, what is going on? Ninjas and game shows and monsters, and it's just so many different things. And the Zords are just so weird. He was surfing on a surfboard. He was I don't understand. He was surfing on a surfboard, and then there's a UFO attachment or something. What is going on? Stick to one theme and run with it. Just run with it.
Exactly.
I mean, I've heard that the Sentai version of this wasn't taken well with the Japanese culture. Like they didn't like it as much as they like the other Sentais.
But you know what though? Like they didn't, but you know what they would have saved it over here was that in Japan they did some callbacks where they brought back people from the previous Ninja series and they brought them on. Yeah. Had they done that here in America, I think you could have saved it.
Man.
If you had captured like actual Ninja base. So you bring back like for example from Ninja Storm. You bring back some of those actors in here and whatnot. Maybe you go back to Mighty Morphin because remember they did do a Ninja season.
Yes.
So maybe you bring back some of them and everything like that.
Yeah, they did too. They did Mighty Morphin. They had ninjas, and then they had Ninja Storm.
Yep.
When Disney had it, they had ninjas. And there is an episode, JD. There's an episode where there's all three ninjas come together, right? So I don't know why they can't do that. I mean, maybe it's because one was done on Fox, one is on Disney, and I don't know. Going back to what we liked and what we didn't like. I like the characters to an extent. I like the diversity. Obviously, there's so many different Rangers there. I like the comic relief. It seems like they're trying to go back to how Power Rangers was before. And let's be real, we watch Mighty Morphin now. It doesn't hold up. No, it doesn't hold up. It is corny as hell. It's about the same caliber as this show. So I mean, I can't really hate on Ninja Steel too much, but we gotta step our game up.
We really do.
You need to
because there are some Power Ranger seasons that do hold up though when they have like some good writing.
Exactly.
Like Power Rangers in Space.
Oh my god,
good. Still holds up to this day.
Still holds to this day.
You can go to Power Rangers SPD.
SPD great.
Is so strong.
SPD is
it still holds up pretty strong. It still holds up today. So yeah, I agree with you. Like they can just raise the bar just a little bit. And I see the comment right there, like Ninja. Ninja was a little bit of crap though.
Yeah, and then that's what I've been hearing. They had a frog gun, and they're just I don't know. He didn't see him morph in this episode, but the Sixth Ranger is a cowboy ranger.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I was just like, what does? Oh my god, I don't even know. And in the Sentai, his morpher is a burger.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. But back to we missed out. We missed out a little bit on the news. So we have Sledge coming to the Legacy Wars game. So if you guys play that, I have it downloaded on my phone. I just haven't. Have you played that fighting game, the Power Ranger fighting game?
Not yet, but I've seen it though. The clips are pretty sick.
Yeah. So we got the villain from Dino Charge. He's on it, and in the comics, we lose a friend. We lose someone from the MMPR universe. Our buddy Saba. Saba is dead. Saba's gone. Spoiler. I guess I should have said spoiler alert. So Lord Dracon kills him. JD's gonna bring that up. You got that up there, JD? Lord Dracon kills him. So in the comics, Lord Dracon gets captured. He's kind of like wired to a wall and everything. And I don't know why, but Saba teleports to go see him or something. I think he's trying to go kill him. So Saba shoots lasers through his eyes, and I guess he shot the binds, and Tommy just jumped out and just decapitated him. It was just, oh my god. So, I mean, listen, if Nickelodeon is bold enough, if they are smart, they will hit up the dude that made that comic book, and just look to him to Kyle Higgins, and look to him to write the stories for them. I mean, pretty much between that and having the Sentai counterpart stories already there, mashing them together and creating something better, it shouldn't be that hard. It really shouldn't be that hard. All you have to do is take the time, watch some of the Sentai, read some of the comics, and then just translate it. It's not that hard.
For sure. And like you said, like, hit up Kyle Higgins. And the thing about it is that, like, they have the perfect opportunity because the next season is going to be based upon Go Busters, which is actually a really fun season. And
yeah.
You can be
have
really
you finished it?
I haven't finished it. I got like pretty much most of it.
Yeah. So what's the premise for that show?
So the premise is it's kind of like this weird like spy tech like Sentai and everything like that. And what's really cool is it's a lot of throwback to actually American Power Rangers. Like when they change, their morphers say it's morphing time. Oh. And there's like all these like robots and everything like that. They have like other AI units who like who they ride around on, but also adapt to help them merge with their Zords and everything like that. Damn. It's pretty cool and it's really fun.
It's crazy because that series was skipped when they did Dino Charge, so it's been around for a while. So they went all the way back to adapt that one. I feel like this is a when they're doing, I think it's called Beast Morphers. When they adapt Beast Morphers, I think it's just a placeholder for Nickelodeon to keep the rights. It's kind of like what Fox did with the last Fantastic Four movie. Do you remember that with Michael B. Jordan? That movie should have never came out, ever. Should have never came out. The only reason that they released it is that they can hold on to the rights. That's it. That's the only reason. I think that's what Nickelodeon is doing with Beast Morphers is they're going to use Go Busters as a little placeholder. I mean, I'm sure they're going to do pretty decent with it. I mean, you can't really mess up that. It's just do spies, just do, missions. But they're going to use it as a placeholder until they can figure out what they want to do next. Like, if they were to have another unsuccessful season, I mean, it could be the end for Power Rangers, and I think Nickelodeon feels like they could still probably save it. And I have some faith in Nickelodeon to think that they can save it. I mean, they don't really have that much on their plate right now as far as shows. They got a few of these kid shows, and Ninja Turtles ended. Ninja Turtles coming back. Is SpongeBob still going?
I think SpongeBob's still going.
SpongeBob's still going, but that SpongeBob pretty much writes itself.
Yeah, don't forget the Kids' Choice Awards.
Yeah,
that takes so much planning, and the slime has to be made, and like it's a big deal. Yeah. So they have a lot. So
Nickelodeon definitely has an empty plate for them to start experimenting with different things. But yeah, I feel like Go Busters was a good way to go because first off, have you seen Q Ranger?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Q Ranger is great. I didn't want them to mess that up. So they just needed. They're just putting their feet in the ground, trying to get their ground, and trying to figure out what they want to do next. So
and you said this, give them enough breathing room to help them figure out how they want to do Q Ranger because Q Ranger has 10 plus Rangers.
Yeah.
So they really have to figure out what actors we want to get, what's the storyline we want to go with here,
what you want to do.
And then not only that though, but you could potentially take Q Ranger and have that bridge out and connect it to a whole Power Rangers universe.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Everybody, you don't even have to have that many actors for the show. You could have a bunch of the creatures, different creatures from SBD. There's so many different things you can do.
Exactly.
So I mean, it's good that Go Busters. It's a lot older footage. It's from 2000. What is it? 2000. It's from 7 years ago. So 2009, 2010. So I mean, this is what I think they should do with Beast Morphers. They should shoot more of their stuff. Instead of just dubbing over some of the old footage, take the time and shoot. Not just the civilian stuff where the kids or the humans, but even the fight scenes. I mean, obviously, Ninja Steel. These fight scenes were American fight scenes.
Yeah, we saw that today. We were like, "Oh, this is definitely American."
This episode was just crazy. Especially if you're telegraphing your every move that you're gonna do, you think that the monster would be smart enough to combat against that or defend himself against that. It's like, "Oh, I'm gonna slice you with my sword." Okay, then I'm just gonna move to the side so it doesn't hit me.
Exactly. Or someone's like, "Time for Ninja Slash." Time to go.
Time to move over here.
Ninja daggers. Okay, monster shield.
You see, we got. Let's go look at the chat. SpongeBob should have been canceled a long time ago. I agree with you, but I mean, people are still watching, and SpongeBob is an iconic Nickelodeon character that Nickelodeon wants to keep hanging on to, because after that, what do they got? Nothing. I started coming up with ideas for Q Ranger, and it combines space and Lost Galaxy. That's a pretty cool idea, Layla. I don't know if they're going to do that, though. I mean, from what I've seen, they don't usually like going backwards, unless it's like that Super Mega Force episode where they had the reunion with all the Power Rangers. But they really didn't touch on the stories. They just had them there as cameos.
I agree with Anna Miles. I think we need better fight scenes.
We do.
Because I remember back to, what was it, Mystic Force? Mystic Force actually had some really good fight scenes and some good wire work and everything like that.
I skipped that episode because of those capes. I skipped that season. I was like, no, what are you doing? No.
Honestly, you get used to it, and I don't spoil anything before we start talking about the new Sentai and everything like that, but capes do return.
Capes
and
do return.
it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool.
What else we got here? They should pull an RPM. They should. Have you seen RPM?
Of course, RPM's so good.
RPM, it's like Terminator. It's so good. Like
Darkest Future, Darkest Timeline.
Oh my god, I don't know.
But also meta and very funny too at the same time.
Yeah,
like it's one of my favorite series. Like
I love, like the little title screens and just it's good.
And there's this one hilarious point where the Green Ranger's like, "Have you ever noticed like whenever I morph, there's always an explosion in the background?" And he's like, "Why does that happen?" And she's like, "Oh, well, that's the exhaust injury, everything like that." Yeah. Okay, if you say so.
So it's got Beef Morphers. Beef Morphers is the first season that Ranger suits are made of leather, not spandex. That is true. That I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing. Like me as a cosplayer, I know that leather or fake leather, whenever it does not, it keeps in everything.
It just doesn't
everything.
Breathe well.
Like if you're sweating, especially in hot summers, your sweating just keeps everything in. And it's hard to clean. You can't really clean leather. So I don't know how they're gonna do that. They're gonna have a few suits. What else we got? SpongeBob should have been canceled 18 years ago instead of Legend of Korra. RPM is one of the seasons that had the best unmorphed fight scenes. Yes, they did.
Oh wow.
This show with this Ninja Steel, the fight scenes are. The special effects are pretty cool. That one scene where the Blue Ranger did that whole little spin thing that looked pretty cool. But the fight scenes were they're just whatever. They're okay. That splits though. That splits that Pink Ranger did. That was the White Ranger who did that. Oh, that was the White Ranger. She went under the bush and everything. Yeah. I was like, okay. Yeah. You tried.
So,
the fight scenes, they do need to find a new choreographer, because I think what would make these fight scenes more entertaining? More explosions.
One of those college explosions like back in the day. Boom, boom for no reason.
Michael Bay-ified.
It's like Pop-Tart pops out, explosion. Like, I would say wire work for sure, fight choreography, which you can just do, and then maybe you can do like more from 101 fight scenes to 201, and like, just play with it a little bit more. But you have to definitely work in more of that fight choreography. Just take your time with it. Like, I kind of compare it to like the Iron Fist show on Netflix. Like, the Iron Fist show has so much potential, but like they said, the actor showed up, he didn't want to like actually like practice or get in like shape for like fight scenes and everything like that.
Fire the guy,
Rangers
man.
is like, you got the actors there, they're willing to do it. Take your time, work through it, especially when they're in the suits, because in the suits, those usually stunt people anyway.
Yeah, you could get some talented stunt people. There are some people like out in Santa Monica that are doing flips and doing some crazy shit. If you're actually hiring stuntmen and stunt women, they should be able to do a lot of crazy shit.
Exactly. And not only that, though, but you got to remember, too, though, like, again, there's, like you said, there's so many amazing stunt people. Think about Buffy the Vampire Slayer, a show that was made 20-plus years ago, but some of the fight scenes there were amazing.
Yeah. Well, they had one of the best stunt choreographers on set for that show, too. There's a ton of great choreographers out there that can... you could probably get it for under a budget. Maybe they're trying to save money or something. I don't know what they're trying to do over there, but... They can really step it up in that side. I feel like they need to step it up in the story aspect. With this show, they always seem to, even with kid shows in general, they always have to go back and have you establish the characters again and then carry on with the storyline, versus having the characters be established or the character development be little snippets in the show as you watch it. A good example would be for like this Nickelodeon shows versus like you remember Boy Meets World. Like
of course.
you never had to go back and learn who Corey Matthews was, learn who Sean was. They just continued the story from then on. They did a lot more with 20 minutes than we're doing now with 20 minutes. You know what I mean? They fit a lot more stuff in 20 minutes back then than they do now. I mean, kids don't have some kids do, but kids don't have short-term memories. They're going to remember who these characters are. They're going to pick up on these things.
I agree with you, because a great example of that, go back to a Disney Channel show that was made years ago, Gargoyles.
Oh,
Gargoyles is so good and so dope. It's just so amazing.
Oh,
but the cool thing about it is that it was intelligent. It was well plotted out. Episodes hark back to like previous things that happened in other episodes, and so you can totally get away with it. And you just have to like take your time and plot it out. And the key thing about it too is the Power Rangers, like the seasons here, they split the Sentai into 2 seasons. So they're like what 18, like 20 episodes.
22 episodes or something. JD,
each season's like 22 episodes here.
Which one?
Power Rangers.
Power Rangers.
Like,
right now it's like 27 specials.
Right.
See?
Right. And so the thing about it is, you can totally do like a whole arc storyline that leads up, that harks back to other episodes, and you just kind of build them up.
They have plenty of time. I don't understand why they have to. I'm seeing it happen more and more with series now, or like shows now, is they have to go back, or they have to, this is this character, they're quirky, they're funny, you got to remember that. It's like, no, we remember that from the last episode. So just continue on the story. You're gonna have a lot if you do it like this, you're gonna have a lot more time to develop these characters more, have better, deeper stories, have you feel more connected with these characters, and then the stakes are just higher. Like if they're hurt or something, it's like, oh no, it's just. There's just little things that they need to fix, and I mean, it's an easy fix.
For sure.
It's an easy fix.
And none of the stuff that we're calling out are things that are taken away from the Power Rangers, like mythos,
No.
or what makes Power Rangers Power Rangers. Because the mothers will say, I mean, we joke about they're saying like ninja kick, ninja dash, ninja eat a sandwich.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is though, is that you're like, okay, we get it. It is a kids show, and that does make it fun. But when you include those like great story elements, when you include those great fight scenes along with this, that even becomes more fun. Because like, now we like poking some fun at some stuff.
I mean, like we'll go back to Voltron. Voltron, it's 20 minutes an episode. Look what they do with that. It's so great. The character development is so great, and they have like the same amount of characters. It's everything, and you don't have to keep going back. You don't have to set everything up like an after school special. It's like, no. I mean, kids will pick up on what you're trying to teach them.
Exactly.
Like here in this episode, they're trying to teach them not to be too invested in video games, not to have that control your life. Like Preston forgot to do a homework or something. So yeah, you could have that stuff in there, but have the messages be subtle. One good example is Zootopia, that Disney movie. There is a what they're trying to tell you is like, about prejudice and everything, but they had a whole storyline going through it. Power Rangers can do the same thing. It's just about taking the time. I feel like the writers aren't taking the time to write these stories out, to invest. Maybe there's a bunch of different writers for each episode, and they can't all be on the same page. And maybe if there's so many writers, it's easier for them to have segmented storylines. It would be as if you were working with another comic book creator, and you guys were working on the same story, but you guys have totally different stories, but you're using the same characters.
Right.
So I feel like that's what it is. It's
segmented in a way.
It's segmented, and it's like, okay, I'm writing this, you're writing that. We're gonna use the same characters. The storyline's gonna be a little weird. That's what it feels like. It's just like there's no continuity with these stories.
Yeah.
And it's really messing things up. I mean, I don't like. I think. I mean, we probably have to ask kids what they think about this show, but yeah, I think they could do better. The kids deserve better. We as fans, we deserve better.
We sure do. And the thing about this is they've done better in the past. And let's remember that too, because everything that we're asking them to do, they've done in the past. Like we said, they had better fight choreography and like Mystic Force and SPD. And as far as like storylines go, past Ranger season have an amazing storyline. Say Power Rangers Wild Force. Had an amazing storyline. But where it all started at, villain development. The villains from Wild Force with the whole mutants and everything like that, and them being the suppressed people, kind of reminds like Zootopia in a way. Was doing all this stuff that makes you think about it, and kids were watching it, they were eating it up. It was still like one of the best times for Power Rangers.
That is a good point. We need better villains, like villains that you're afraid of, that you feel for, villains that are like deeper, like they're not just on the surface villains, but you get more of a storyline with them. And we haven't had that for a while. I mean, remember with Rita and Goldar, all of them had like a story. They're all, they're now not so much.
No, and that was the problem with today's episode. Is that like, as I watched today's episode, the one thing that went through my mind is like, who's the big bad?
Yeah.
Like, I see the frog dude, and the frog dude's obviously the villain of the week. We're also going to have a villain of the week, but I'm like, who's the one pulling all the strings here? Where's his big moment at? And we haven't had that for a while. Like, I still remember to the day when I was a kid and Power Rangers remember that like that evening special where Lord Zed showed up? And it came on at 8 o'clock at night, you're watching, all of a sudden like Goldar's like, oh, Lord Zed is coming, and Rita's like getting scared. And then they show Lord Zed, the music's playing, he rolls around, she's like, oh, who is that?
Yeah, he had like a snake and everything. Yeah, it was. Yeah, he's They need. I think they need a human villain. They need human villains, not just like these suit actors or whatever. They need a human villain. That way, you can connect more. Like with Power Rangers in Space, you had Astronema.
Exactly. And shout out to Jared. That's right, Jared.
Where she had a connection to the Power Rangers because. Spoiler alert, her brother was the Red Ranger. Just that kind of like connection, that kind of thing, it really goes a long way. So, I mean, all in all, it was an okay episode. What if you were to give it 1 to 5, what would you give that episode?
Can we do negative numbers?
Yeah, we can do negative numbers.
I wouldn't go that low. Honestly, I would give it probably like a 2. Yeah. Like, again, there's a lot of potential there. There's a lot of things happening. And because, like I said, VV saves it for me. VV is hilarious. That whole thing with the picture in the classroom made me chuckle.
He's hilarious.
Trying to get, like, the...
I really wish he gets to become a ranger at the end of this. I don't know if we have enough rangers to go around, but give that man a suit, because he is hilarious.
He is. He is hilarious. That could be dope, because he's, like, the bully right now. It could be a redemption ranger arc.
Yeah, exactly.
He gets his morpher, now he has to figure out how he's going to do.
Yeah.
Oh, see. Okay, so we got some ratings coming through. Yeah. And it's a little bit more generous for 3.5.
Yeah, I'll give it a 2. So let's see. We got 1.5 from Thomas Franco, 3.5 out of 5 from Anna Miles, Craig Anderson 2.5, Layla 1.5. Yeah,
it was okay, but not good.
It seems like we're in the realm. We're in that realm, and give this episode an 8.
Cyril, we're doing this on a 5-point scale.
1 to 5,
was it
man.
that good for you? Or
you really enjoyed
the same scale
it.
As us?
Battlestar Galactica gave it a 2. 2. 3.5. Adrian Padilla 4.
Okay, anybody who's giving this a 4 and above, I need to see like a reason why. Like, I need to hear a reason why you're giving this a 4 and above.
There's one. JD, do you have the clip? This episode reminded me a lot of the episode back in the day when Rocky was addicted to that pachinko machine. And all he wanted to do was have fun. He just wanted to have. It's gonna be on the screen here, but he just wanted to play games. He just wanted. That's what it felt like. All these kids, all the Power Rangers. That's there you go. That's where everybody. Preston wasn't even in the fight in the beginning because he was stuck playing that game. It wasn't that great of a game. So that's what it reminded me of. Reminded me of Rocky just wants to have fun, and I don't know. The story could have been good. It could have been good. They should have invested a little bit more time into it. Because
let's call it the biggest problem too was the ending part, where it's like the monsters getting its power from the teens playing the video games.
Yep.
That makes sense. Yep. Okay, I'm on board for this. But then the Gold Ranger runs out in that green makeup, is like, "Don't play the game. When you get to level 10, this is what it does to you." And then going down, I'm like,
"That's a mop on your head and face paint. That's not real. Like, these kids, they can't be that dumb.
Exactly.
They cannot be that dumb."
One insults their intelligence, insults our intelligence. But then the bigger thing that got to me was like, wait, so only the kids in like the teen center were playing this game? So what was this, like 20, 25 people? Yep. That was it? Yep. Did he not hear the internet? Did he not release this like in a wider mass spread or anything like that?
Yeah,
like, come on.
It was just, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, man. It's just, I don't know. They need to fix it. But the past few episodes, they were getting better. It's hit or miss. It's like a roller coaster. They get good episodes and they have bad ones, and then good ones and then bad ones. They need to be more consistent, and I think that also comes down to having a bunch of different writers for each episode.
For sure, or just you have a bunch of different writers, but you have one person who has like a vision of where this is going to go.
Yes, there's one person he's overlooking everything else. It's like, oh no, that doesn't fit into or continuity. But I don't think they have that. I don't think they have someone. It's supposed to be Chip, but Chip doesn't seem like Chip's doing his job over there. But let's see what else we got in the chat. Mixed words of wisdom. So they went back and the Gold Ranger was like, hey, why did I have to paint myself green and do all this when you could have just shapeshift into an alien? Another little thing that they got away with. They just didn't want. Honestly, I feel like they just didn't want to, pay to make him look like an alien. This is probably the cheapest and best way to go about it. Lint324 says, to be fair, Rita only ever attacked Angel Grove like there's no other cities in the world. That is true.
I give you that.
That is true.
I give you that.
These villains are they got tunnel vision. Mm-hmm. They lock themselves into one city, and then if you're that city, you're fucked. Angel Grove was fucked from the beginning. They were screwed.
I'll be real. If I lived in Angel Grove after the third monster attack, I'd be like, fuck this shit, I'm out.
Dude,
time to go.
Like how many like high-rise buildings do you have that they'll be coming down left and right? Like every episode, there's like how many episodes of Mighty Morphin where the buildings are just gone. It's like there are people that work in those buildings. They're like people lost their jobs. Are the Power Rangers gonna give those people jobs? No, they're gonna go back home to their kids and they're like, I'm sorry, we can't have Christmas this year because some monster destroyed the building that I work in, and I'm out of the job. I can't buy you presents. It's like, why is this not happening? The Power Rangers should be quitting school and like using the Zords to rebuild these buildings so people. Every episode a building is going down.
Exactly. Rita, like, can we stop being reactionary? Can we start like patrolling? Can I just see like the pterodactyl just circling the city sometimes? Like,
yeah, exactly.
All right, guys, let's patrol. That's happening right now.
Pterodactyl starts
back to base,
bringing up pillars with the cords, and they can help the city rebuild itself. No, it reminds me of the Michael Bay Transformers movies where. The Transformers destroyed the city, and then the city still stayed down. They had the city of Chicago, it was still down. They need to have that. Angel Grove should not look like Angel Grove. Angel Grove should look like a desolate world where everything's just torn apart because of these stupid monsters that Rita just keeps making in that oven,
Like, at some point, Ninja Steel or some Power Ranger season needs to do a thing where they go to, like, this Mad Max world where things are just crazy. It's this whole Mad Max territory, and they're just leaving, like, where was that? Where was that another dimension? No, that was Angel Grove. It went downhill, man.
That's
no one lives there.
Man. No, that's one thing that I keep overlooking. Even as a kid, I keep overlooking it. I mean, here in this show, it seems like the Ninja Steel Power Rangers are pretty good at trying to avoid the buildings. You had that, you heard that 50-foot Megazord surfing. It didn't hit anything. It was just surfing. It didn't hit any buildings. I mean, I'm sure there's a few cars down there that got destroyed or whatever, but...
This always reminds me of SPD, because I remember SPD, how the Zord had a gun, and it would jump to the side, and it would jump behind buildings. Could you imagine if you're in your building watching that monster fight, like, oh shit, monsters are fighting. Hey, where'd that Zord go? Did he just jump behind? Oh shit, we're being shot! Why did you do this? You are not heroes!
I just exactly. It's like watching those Transformer films where stuff's getting destroyed. Why don't we see that? I want an episode of Power Rangers where we just see the innocent bystanders just from their point of view. What's going on from their point of view. Not from the point of view of the Power Rangers, because it's a little bit more tame there. But from their point of view, where they're panicking and they're like, there's a big surfing robot thing. What the fuck? It's like, why? I don't understand that. A ninja surf... Oh, okay. There was surf ninjas. Okay. There was surf ninjas. I get it. Makes sense now.
They should do like a public forum for the Power Rangers where people just show up and ask them questions. It's like, just question. The monster shows up. Why don't you just call the Zord out first? You could save 10 minutes because you know he's going to go big.
Call the Zord out.
Just
have
call
it
him out
step
first.
On it like a little bug. There has to be like a support group for all these people that are just got like PTSD from all this. Like, hi, I'm Bill, and my building was attacked by a monster, and then they just left, and now my building's gone, and I'm homeless. Just like support group.
From those seasons where people get turned into monsters.
Exactly.
Like, hi, my name's James. I was the giant hippo who was eating all the pizzas. That was me, and It's weird, but I kind of miss being the hippo.
It's there's so many unanswered questions about this franchise. Just everything. I mean, teachers don't wonder why the kids keep leaving during class. Like, where do you think you're going? Hey, what are you doing? Or they're back in the day when they're all color coordinated.
Oh, true.
It's like, dude, someone has to figure it out. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like the whole Superman effect, Clark Kent Superman effect. So
it's like, why do you only wear red?
Yeah, it's like, why do you only have red? What's going on here?
Like, are you a fan?
Like,
is Pittsburgh your baseball team?
Tommy, I thought your favorite color is green. Why you start wearing a lot of white now? What's going on here? So yeah.
And now you're wearing black, Tommy. Just switching it up.
It was pretty funny. So another thing that we do on this show is reread comics from the last stream. So we'll do it. Each person, we'll read each person.
Cool.
If you can start off with Craig Anderson.
Sure. So Craig Anderson, who's here right now. Hey, Craig. You said I was so happy when I found out that Ghostbusters was the next Sentai adaptation. My only problem was the name. I mean, Beast Morphers just doesn't fit. Do you guys think that the Ghostbusters is going to be a sequel or at least placed in the same universe as RPM? I don't think so. That's just me, because RPM was just such a different reality and dimension, everything like that. I don't think so.
It'd be nice.
It'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
But I don't think it will be. But at the same time, though, isn't this all part of the same dimension in a way? Because RPM did do a crossover where they came to this world. Which season was that? Where the Red Ranger came to our world for a moment.
Oh, it was Samurai. Or no, Samurai? It was Samurai. Where the Red Ranger from SBD came
Red Ranger from RPM showed up.
Yeah, Samurai. But he didn't unmorph. It was just a suit act.
Yeah, he was just a morph the whole time.
Yeah. Red Ranger 241. Great wrap up, guys. I personally thought this week's episode of Super Ninja Steel was kind of okay. I thought last week's was better. Nothing much to say about this episode except why was Tori from Ninja Storm not in this episode? The episode featured a surfing Megazord in a ninja-themed anniversary season. Such a missed opportunity, but all news regarding Hasbro and Beast Morphers is exciting. The press release for Saban and Hasbro partnership mentioned something about Hasbro buying the Power Rangers franchise, which would pretty much be interesting. Anyways, as always, keep up the great work, guys. # Ranger Wrap Up. # so much Power Ranger news. # step into the spotlight. Woo. Yeah, I'm excited about Hasbro picking up the license for Power Rangers. I mean, just outside of the comic book, all the toys that they have there are Hasbro. Everything. They got Marvel, they got Star Wars. Everything is Hasbro. It only makes sense that Power Rangers is brought on.
Mm-hmm. Okay, from Zach Nemo. Is Nick still going to make Power Rangers go 2 seasons, or is Nick going to have 40 episodes in 1 season to make up for the unadapted Sentai shows? Since the company change will be warrant a change in season structure.
Like Joe said, that would probably be the best thing for them to do.
But for the bottom line, I don't think they're going to do it.
I don't think they're going to do that.
Because by stretching it out, they can sell more toys, more action figures, what have you, whatnot. Yeah. So it just gives them more time to play with and gives them more time to plan as well. The thing is,
I don't know if you heard, they extended the contract for 3 years versus an even. So like every season, every Power Ranger season they have 2 years of the show. So they have a regular season and then a super season.
Right.
So 3 years doesn't make sense. So, I mean, there is a possibility that they might change it up. Maybe Ghostbusters is 20 episodes or 25 episodes and then that's the end of it. Mm-hmm. Or we honestly don't know. I mean, we don't get paid by Nickelodeon, so we don't know how they're going to roll.
If we had said what we would want, I don't want them to do 1 season. Do 1 season, a tight 25. Because Ghostbusters isn't that long, but you do a tight 1 season of it, I feel you could do the show justice.
But, just do it right. Do it justice, because it's going to be a hard one to adapt. Cyril Moore says, go Power Rangers. Good, Cyril Moore.
For sure. Pedro Gilda says, HD footage doesn't get grainier over time. They're using the same RED cameras.
Oh, I guess so. They were talking about how the Sentai footage from Ghostbusters was a while back that maybe it wouldn't translate well, like HD wise.
Oh, okay.
Do you think that's a problem? I mean, when you watch Ghostbusters, did it look aged?
Well, at the time, I watched Ghostbusters when it came out.
Okay.
So when it came out at the time, it looked okay. How it will look now? Well, I mean, going by this logic, maybe not.
Maybe.
But I will say that by today's standards, because again, we just got done watching Nickelodeon, how clean that looked and everything. Mm-hmm. So there probably will be like a visible difference. But I'll be honest, I don't think people will matter that much.
Yeah, I don't think.
As long as you have good writing, good storylines, I don't think people care.
6 years ago.
6 years ago.
6 years ago. That's not. I mean, it's not too bad. We had HD back then, 1080p. Yeah. Yeah, it has gone. Life is Cool, I guess, says, I think Beast Morphers is going to be better than Dino Charge. That's a possibility. I mean, it's what's that? Yeah, let's hope. Let's only hope that they do better. It's going to be hard.
Panda Blog says, I recently watched a few clips from the Once a Ranger special from Operation Overdrive, introduced the characters using the season's theme song. Before they even saw who it was, there is this excitement based on just the song. The theme song is so important, so the fact that the past few seasons has just been the go-go theme sucks. Panda, I kind of agree with you. Like, I got to be real. Like, that Once a Ranger episode, that is, like, one of my favorite moments when they start coming out. And you hear the original music. You hear, like, the, Ninja
Storm?
Ninja Storm. And you hear the Mystic Forest and all those, like, start coming off. Even though they have the right to Mighty Morphin, they did what they could with it. That was really dope. That was a really cool, smart idea.
That was a very underrated episode, I think. And underrated season as far as when they brought all them back.
Yeah. Like, using the go-go does bring this form of nostalgia, but honestly, I love hearing a new song.
Yeah.
Like when a new song comes out and it's got that Ron Lasseter type feel to it, and you're getting into it and everything like that. That's one of my favorite moments.
Did you watch the movie, right? The 2017 movie?
Sadly.
Yeah. Did you feel like that the theme song that they put in there was a little out of place?
Well, because it's the original Mighty Morphin team, and for the marketing of it, because they were trying to get us to go, all the nostalgia and everything like that. Like, I did love that guitar riff, like, din, 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 din. It was, like, kind of cool or not.
How about when the Zords came out where they straight up just played the theme song?
That was kind of cool. That was kind of fun. Like,
I
kind of smiled. Like, all right, we doing it. It's time.
They know what they're doing.
But with the TV shows, though, I feel each season should have their own unique theme song that kind of fits them.
But then that goes into money-wise and whether or not they want to invest a lot of money in making a whole.
Isn't that much though? I feel Ron Lasseter would do it for not that much.
You think so? What has he been up to lately?
Like, I feel he's just been doing independent production, like working on stuff and everything like that. Like, Google him the other day. Like, he's still kicking and whatnot. And he does a good Power Rangers theme song. Yeah. He knows the formula.
I mean, there are a few things out there that a few YouTube artists that can put together some music. Well, we got a message here. Do you, Jezzer, and Johnny know how Joe and Daniel work these Ranger wrap-ups? They talk about Power Ranger news, the episode, the ratings, and then comments. Talk about the episode much?
Let's talk about the episode more.
Anyways.
Sorry, Robin. First time.
Latigo Modiba says, the 3-season follow-up similar to MMPR to Turbo is actually a likely situation. Yeah, I guess that could happen. I don't know.
Awesome Gamer 10X says, I don't think that the Zoo Ranger was on the table at all. They were planning on doing Keel Ranger. I think due to the crap on Bandai and possibly Hyperforce's success, they chose to go with Go Busters. I think the possibility. It makes sense.
Yeah. T. Wolf, the Typhoon Ranger, says, Hey, Joe, great wrap-up as always. I really am optimistic about the direction of the Power Rangers, especially now that Hasbro and the helm of the toys. I'm a huge collector of Transformers figures, and their Masterpiece line is freaking amazing. Plus, their Marvel Legends line is fucking awesome. And I'm really hoping for an American original 6th Ranger, and my question for you is, if Zoo Ranger is adapted, how do you think Hasbro will handle their Zords and weapons, since they are basically blocks? Since Hasbro is known for combiner Transformers that have been great with articulation, and as for Beast Morphers, name how that Hasbro has taken over the toy line. It makes sense that this is the company that created the names Beast Wars, Beast Machines, Beast Hunters. Hashtag Joe the Phantom Ranger. Hashtag I'm Typhon the Typhoon Ranger. Hashtag THS Family for Life. Yeah, I mean, Hasbro, you can't mess up with Hasbro. I mean, it's going to be interesting what they're going to do. Beast Wars. Do you remember Beast Wars?
Oh, of course. Amazing cartoon.
Beast Wars and Beast Machines. Oh, my God. What do you got?
I will say this, though. I agree, because given the fact that, like, they have their own set way of producing stuff and everything like that with their action figures, going to those types of morphers will be kind of hard for them. So I'll be interested to see what they're going to do.
I think they're going to totally skip Zoojer. It's blocks. Have you seen that Sentai?
Oh, yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, the blocks and the Transformers.
Like, when that came out, I was like, what are you guys doing? We're going backwards here. Looks like garbage. Hasbro is not going to accept that. Hasbro, do us a favor and don't do it. Just skip that. Skip Zoojer.
Mm-hmm. Okay, from Mr. Fireman 106. Really love this video. Definitely agree there needs to be serious change to Power Rangers. Also, they should get Peter to be the Red Ranger for next season. Oh, that's interesting.
Hizri Japan Boy. The people who shows negativity to the PR Neo Saban seasons come back positively. Sorry if I bring negativity to you guys. Don't know what that's in reference to, but okay.
Irish Luck X says, well, if the villain's a computer virus, maybe it still could be the villain. Sorry, it could be the Viginex virus from RPM, because if you remember the end of the last episode of RPM, Viginex transfers his consciousness into one of the RPM morphers. That is true, and that would bring continuity to it. That's smart. That's really smart.
Whoa. What happened with that morpher?
Because, well, that's the thing, though. It was just like it just kind of left it up in the air to be like brought to later on. But then again, we just talked about that with the new season Beast Morphers. That could be a way to bring that in and connect those two worlds. So if they did that, that would kind of merge both worlds together.
That's a good one. Good job, Irish.
Yeah.
Thomas Franco says, the way I would do Ninja Super Steel is have one of the Ninja Storm Rangers come back as a mentor. It was weird seeing Haley and Sarah's parents because of that, and their parents got serious. They would become stepsisters. This episode was meh, not feeling it at all. I give it a 0.5. Wow. And the Sub-Surfer Megazord looked horrible. But anywho, finally Saban making changes to the series. But we need better writers. Get rid of the Power Ranger Samurai theme song and Dino Charge theme song in the background during the Megazord fights. I hope Hasbro makes legit figures and toys for Power Rangers. Keep up the good work. That hashtag show boss up. Awesome wrap up as always.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. Anubis of the Dead Reaper. Hasbro era. I like the name Spy Course better. Also want a Dark Buster figure and him in the show. What about Toker? Tokuger. I like the grayness better than the too much quality of Ninja Steel. Hasbro era. And I do like the name Spy Course. Spy Course sounds kind of fun.
I Will One says, between the movie, Boom Studios Comics, Hyperforce, and the Hasbro with Beast Morphers news, Power Rangers Medium should be better than ever. That's like what I was saying. Yeah, there's just so much things you guys got to work with. Put it together.
Mm-hmm. Robert Meltzer says, Robert Meltzer says, Beast Morphers is SPD again than RPM.
Nice. Derek Kirby says, Ranger Fan Revolution cometh. Great show. Hashtag let's morph and go.
Blackwing 2040 says, so, Power Rangers Beast Morphers. I'm excited for this. We haven't had 3-man Ranger team starting lineup since RPM, but I'm excited to see how this goes. Downside, I don't like the Nickelodeon extension at all. It's crazy to see that Nickelodeon has the longest grasp on Power Rangers than the other networks. Saban era was for 10 years, Disney era was 7 years. Let's hope Saban makes a big turnaround because so far they've been pulling out all the surprises.
Ooh. Steve Vogler says, I'm really glad they are finally adapting Go Busters, and it's sad it's not Q Ranger. But it took 7 years for it to finally come to fruition. I'm not too keen with the choice of the title, though, but I'm very much looking forward to its story arc and the new team of Rangers. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna look cool. I mean, it's like I said, it's not spandex suits and March leather. I want to see maybe some Mission Impossible type theme song, maybe like, I don't know, like mix of Power Rangers and Mission Impossible. Mm-hmm. I want to see some missions. I want to see. It's gonna be good. But that is a good what you're talking about, like on RPM where the Vengeance went into a morpher. That's pretty cool. I think that's a cool idea too.
Yeah, that would be fun. And I hope they keep some of the stuff from Go Busters too. Like I do like the way they morph because it literally says it's morphing time and it kind of goes around. I'm like, we don't even have to translate it. Just keep it there. So I kind of like that. So I hope they keep a little of those elements because they made it kind of fun.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really mess up with this. And like I said, I feel like it's just a placeholder. Yeah. So good. Like you can, like when they announced the news that was going to be the next season, I was kind of a little relieved. I was relieved that it wasn't going to be a Q Ranger right away. Yeah,
because that needs a little bit of time to breathe.
Yeah.
And then the other thing about this, which I just realized, that they might actually bring in the RPM aspect of it, because in Go Busters, one of the big things, they're AI units, they're robot counterparts.
Yeah.
They have robot partners, so they can totally play with that, and like the partners can become affected by the Vengeance virus, something like that. So there's a lot of stuff to play with.
Oh man, that's a good idea. See, there's so many things you can do. I mean, Nickelodeon, I don't know if you're listening, but there's so many things you can do to fix your continuity problems, to fix your content. That it's everything. Just like we said, take the comic books, take the movie, take input from other fans, and you guys could develop something really amazing if you guys would just take the time and spend a little money. I mean, you guys got plenty of Nickelodeons. They gotta have tons of money. They don't have. They're not paying anybody right now. They got shitty shows, and you're their flagship. Power Rangers is their flagship.
Exactly. They need to help carry that network. And think about this though, is like, again, I joke about the movie, but think about this though, the acting in that movie was good. The teenage storylines were good. And the thing about this, a lot of people liked it. And the thing about this though, just take that grittiness, that honest teenage portrayal, make it a little bit more PG for television, and just adapt that to television and call that your Power Rangers show.
The movie wasn't that bad. I mean, there were just some things in it that were bad, but like they're going in the right direction.
Exactly.
The design of the suits was a little. I mean, they could have afforded to go a little nostalgic, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, still updated them, but go a little nostalgic in the suits. I mean, look at Marvel. How Marvel does it. Marvel does it great. Like they take the original costumes, they update it a little bit. It's not just spandex. It's not just, they update it a little bit.
Yeah, like to be honest with you, if the Power Ranger suits look like Ant-Man's costume, I would have been fine with that. Or like Spider-Man's a little bit, but a little bit like some armor and everything like that. Totally been fine with that. And like my biggest complaint was, I agree with you, like I love the acting, I love the characters and what they were doing with the storyline. My biggest complaints were just like, or my criticism, not really complaints, where the suits were just a little bit too blocky and everything.
Yeah.
And then the Zords, I would like to look a little bit more individual, and I would love to see them come together a little bit more naturally.
Yeah. I mean, look at. I mean, Black Panther just came out. Their suits are pretty much like Black Panther suits, where it's like it looks like
nanotechnology and everything coming on and everything.
Yeah, I mean, they could have done it. They just wanted to. I don't know, go a different direction. But who knows? Well, I think that's all we got for today. So, you're gonna continue the show after this, watching more of the ninja series?
I'm going to probably flip in every now and again to kind of see how this develops. Given that this is the second season about to wrap up, they've got me interested. I kind of want to see how this all turns out now. Yeah. And again, I always hope for the better. I hope it gets better. I hope it gets a little bit stronger because, like I said, I think this was a filler episode. It's not part of like the main storyline. So I'm actually interested to know what the main storyline is.
Yeah.
And then next episode, they kind of dropped a dope hint. They said there's going to be 3 Galaxy Ninjas or something like that coming up.
Yeah, Galaxy.
And I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, it was real quick.
Yeah.
We're going to bring in the Galaxy Ninjas. It's like, wait, what?
So I'm like, this is your chance. Ninja Storm, bring him home.
Robin Chan says, wait, where and when did you have the Saba sword? Well, if you're watching the show, then you probably would have shown me when I talked about Saba, right? And you would have seen when we talked about the episode. So chime in a little earlier, then you probably would have you'd get most of the show instead of commenting down there. I agree with Blanton. Yep. All right. Anyways, where can we find you on social media?
Oh, you can find me on Instagram at JohnnyP313. That's JohnnyP313. And you can find me on Twitter at JohnnyP313 as well.
And you also have a comic book coming.
Yeah, I have a couple comic books out right now. I have one called Broken. It's really dope. It's kind of like Street Fighter meets like Pokemon in a way. It deals with these kids who have their own video characters and they have their own like avatars.
Yeah.
And they're held to their necklaces and they go around battling each other in the real world. So it's like a integrated reality game that's like super fun. So if you go to my website from my Instagram or Twitter, you can read the first few pages for free. Nice.
You can find me on all social media at Jezzer, everything, even that new program Vero. Have you checked that one out yet?
No, is it dope?
Yeah, I guess after the first 1 million people, they're gonna start charging. So gotta jump on it right away.
Everybody get on there quick.
As long as you have it, I mean, they can't charge you, I guess. But yeah, you're actually gonna be joining me later on for a Henshin hangout, right? So
for sure.
You gotta tune in. That's gonna be at 3:00. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and. Finish commenting after this video ends, and then tell us more of what you thought about the episode in our THS Hashtaggers group. We'd like to hear what you have to say, except for you, Robin Chan. I don't care what you have to say. So yeah, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe to keep up to date with everything trending in geek pop culture.
Sure. Thanks for tuning in. Wakanda forever.